Well, hello there, Gary.
Hi.
It's so great to see you. Are
It's
you in
great to see you
Vermont?
too. Yes, I'm in Vermont. Yeah.
Just amazing to see all this just so realized.
Crazy.
All of your thoughts and dreams realized, right?
Yeah, it's so awesome as you can see all the fields in the background.
Amazing.
I sit here and I look out at these fields and it's like, oh, what?
So thank you for being willing to share your story. It's just such an inspiring one. Share uh, about before we met.
Well, my background is in theater and music theater but I always had this when I got older. When I got older, like all of us do, I had this. I wanted to play bigger. I had this thing that I wanted to do, but I didn't know what or how to say it. And of course, if I didn't know what I was saying, who else is going to know what I'm saying or listen to what I have to say? So it's kind of where I was. If that's is that what you is
That's
that what you're
exactly what I mean. It's like
yeah.
this desire, this deep desire to play bigger and to be as big as you are. And
Yeah,
yet,
absolutely. Absolutely.
how do I turn this desire into language? And then how do I craft that language in a compelling enough way that people want to hear it?
Right. Like, who cares, really? Who cares about Gary Anderson or what I have to say? Um, uh, not, not that not that I'm boring or anything like that, but really, like, when you look at media um, and what that provides, uh, you got to know what you're saying, and you got to have a message that's relevant and impelling. um,
Hence why you needed my help. But it really is this loud, crowded online world, all world, in all media now. That
oh yeah. And my thing was, well, I don't have a six-pack abs, or I'm not willing to, do what others have been willing to do uh, to have that be relevant, or have me be relevant, or at least seem relevant.
it's such a moving target, though. Like, what creates relevance in this world where there's instant celebrity for kind of no reason, in a way? How do you
Yeah.
create something? Our first conversations on this topic were, how do you create something meaningful and lasting that that will really make the impact and difference that you wanted to make?
Right. And when you look at, anyone can get 1,000 followers or 10,000 followers or whatever that are in China. But how do you have that actually mean something? How do you have that have your ROI return on your investment, where it's not just a number, but something that's impacting both your business or your life, whatever you're up to or committed to, and then turn that into dollars or in interaction with people. How are you actually making a difference?
Right.
So, yeah,
And living your dream while you're doing it.
right.
Yeah. And so, okay, we started getting to work on this, and then what happened?
Well, I think that the first thing that happened was I hadn't been singing forever, and I started singing again, and then I was in a production of Les Mis. I was at Jean Valjean and Les Mis, and then I started getting some traction. I was on KTLA for
Which is like the big Los Angeles news station, and
yeah
it
it was
wasn't
a
just
big
like
Los Angeles,
some
right.
nothing production of Les Mis. I mean, we're talking about big Los Angeles theater. So very good. Keep
Right.
going. Yeah.
um, and I was on KTLA as an expert, for several years, where they would call me and I'd go and I'd be a lifestyle expert on the show. And you know, when we did the numbers, that the amount of people that saw those things, it would have cost $75,000 a pop. We
Yeah.
figured, like, what it took to do, and here they're calling me to be the expert, and so that was really cool. And then out of that, I got an agent, that one of the top agencies in Los Angeles. And you know, I'm like, what's really funny about this is, as a kid in New York pursuing music theater, you know, I thought agents were like, you know, you had to, I don't know what I thought about agents, but I know I didn't have one. And now all of a sudden I'm at
Yeah, like unattainable.
Yeah, yeah. And now I'm like at one of the top agencies in Los Angeles, and we have a producer assigned to me, and we're coming up with a story for reality television that all involves kind of around me being a DIY expert, and the fields that you see in the background are part of our fields from our farm that we have in Vermont that I'm restoring an 18th century Victorian mansion. I mean, it's like, it's crazy and fun, and it's just beginning. You know,
Yes. And it's
that's
just
the other
beginning.
that's the
Yeah.
other thing too, Cheryl, is that really it's an ongoing work thing. It takes a lot, and it's not just like, yeah, I think you want to be on TV. You know, there's this thing. Yeah, you have a message, and then you go to work, and it doesn't happen overnight. And then, you know, you have setbacks, and then you get back on and you keep going. There's it's anyway, there's just not a panacea, and but unless you have that message, that starting point, you just spin your wheels, and
Yeah.
you think the results, like the media is the results, but that's not the results. It's because you have this message that you have
Yes.
media.
Yes. And we took, so you'd had the musical theater background, so you were used to performing, and yet there was more that you wanted to do, and you had these passions and thoughts, and we started looking at, well, how do you craft some of your most quirky, unique, self-expressed
Yeah,
things about you into a message that you could give away.
yeah,
This whole place that you come to life from, well, that you could figure out anything. And then now you've in fact become known for that. And you know, you've written a treatment and a TV script, and you've got this agent, and you've, you know, been on national TV and become renowned in the local Los Angeles market, and done all this big media, and it's all from that story, that message that you want to give away to people.
yeah. It's really, you know, it's funny. This morning I was just working on this book that I'm writing, from you know, experiences from my life, right? Where the where our dog is sending me, he's writing me notes on don't forget. It's like, don't forget to do this. And um, you know, he's an elderly dog, and I'm kind of writing it as an experience of him to remind me of things that I need to do when he can't. And that's just a little thing of, like, speak from your experience, speak from um, you know, things that move you and inspire you, and if they move and inspire you, they're going to move and inspire somebody else. And then how do you get that message to other people?
Yes. And even though you, with all of your polish and training from, you know, the stage in New York, even with all that, it still was a hurdle, an exponential leap to get you to the place where you could express what was truly inside of you.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just amazing what you've done.
Well, I think, and I'm not done. You know, there's definitely focusing and, you know, like, but I think, I just think it's never done. Um, there's an opening, and then you refine, and then you refine, and then you refine, and then you refine, and then you do something else. And so, yeah, I don't know if that makes sense or not, but
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like,
and
you know,
you
an
know
eternal work in progress. But
the
right now,
best the best thing too is having someone say, no, that's not your message.
and with
You
love.
know, so I'm not in this like vacuum thinking that whatever I'm doing is you know, it just helps to have a team of people um know what we've come up with as a message, you being that team of people, um know what it is, and then say, guide me, you know what I you know, like, so I'm not in a vacuum of what I think is a good idea, or and it actually isn't. So
Right. Well, it is a delight to touch base with you and check in and hear
like,
about even more things that you're accomplishing out of this work together. Just outstanding. Thank you.
thanks.
Can't wait to see what the future holds.
Me
As you,
too, me too.
yay, as you shine even brighter.
Thank you, Cheryl. It's such a pleasure to work with you and know that you see here's what's amazing about you uh, is knowing or having you who I trust implicitly, and yet you see something bigger than I see for myself, and then I get to step into that. You know, like, you know, having that um, is better and bigger than anything that I could ever want. You know, that little voice that goes on in my head that we all have, that doubts all the moves that I make, that doubts the creativity that I have, and then having you stand back there and say, no, that is great. No, you need to do that. And it's so awesome having that. Thank you.
Oh, it is truly my honor to see you share your talents and gifts with the world.
Thanks.
Yay.
Yay.
All right. Until next time.
Yes, and I hope that's soon.
And likewise.
Bye.
Bye.